Good evening. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call to order our regular monthly meeting for the Batesburg-Leesville-Lexington County School District 3 Board of Trustees. It is Tuesday, February the 14th. We are here at the district office, and it is 6 p.m. And I want to thank you all for coming this Valentine's Day. I know you probably had other sweeties that you would have liked to stay with other than us, but we do appreciate you being here tonight with us. At this time, I would like to call Ethan McCaffrey to do our Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ethan. And Jada Henson will lead us in our prayer.
Dear God, we give thanks to you, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for another beautiful day with our loved ones. As we conduct this day, you are forever in our hearts and thoughts. We ask for your love, guidance, and protection in everything we do. Please watch over the ones that mean the most to us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jada. Our next item is approval of the agenda, and you have the agenda in your packets. I'll have a chance to look at it. Without objection, we will approve the agenda as presented. All right, the agenda is approved. Next item is the minutes from our January the 10th, 2023 regular board meeting. You also had those in your packet. You've had a chance to look over them. Without objection, we will approve those. All right, the minutes from January the 10th are approved. Next up is item 2.0, our consent items, our financial report from Ms. Roden.
Board packet. The noteworthy items this month are the USDA reimbursement, that's 2 months on there, so that's for 2 months. And the fringe benefits amount is up, so that includes the health insurance increase that we received of 18.1%, and the employer portion that went up in January. And we had covered all those items when we approved the budget. Do you have any specific questions about the revenue for expenditures for January? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Roden. Next up, we have Superintendent's report from Dr. Atkinson.
Thank you. Our high school received some really exciting, wonderful news. For the second time, they have been selected for as Palmetto's finalist. That's kind of hard to say. So they are in the final running to be selected as the finest high school in South Carolina. So we will have another visiting team that will be joining us the week of February the 20th. And so we are on our P's and Q's ready for them to show up that week. I know that everything will go well, and then we'll be looking forward to March the 15th when the winner will be live streamed throughout the state. And I just want to thank Sonia Bryant and Donnell Hartley, who also recognize them, who were recognized at the annual finalist luncheon on January the 31st. So they were able to go and represent our school there. So we're excited, and we know that this second time is a charm, so this is going to be our year. This week is Bus Driver Appreciation Week, and we just want to, continually acknowledge our bus drivers. We have a total of 24 drivers, bus aides, and substitutes that that get up really early every morning and get our students to school, because it's a little bit difficult to have school without students there on time. So we do thank them, and I want to thank Ms. Mackey for her leadership in working with all our bus staff. I want to recognize the elementary school for the work that they have been doing, working with our backpack food program. They have been working with Merritt Bishop, and they have been able to send bags of food home every week with all our students in need, and they've been doing such a good job that they've been able to actually send 2 bags per week, and also being able to share with all the other 3 schools in the district. And so they have been really been helpful sending food home for all of our students that otherwise might not have a nutritious meal to share every day. Our archery team, once again, has received a grant to continue to expand the program. Alex Richardson, who had the dream and the vision to start this program, continues to write grants and get more and more interest, and so our archery program continues to grow, and just thankful for all his work and time that he's giving to reach another group of students that may not have, that they found a niche that they can really connect with our schools. Era Roberts, I want to recognize her for writing a $5,000 grant through the College Board so that we can send teachers to get endorsed to teach AP Computer Science. So, we're excited about that. They will be attending a institute at the Citadel. It's time for another great production from our elementary school, The Descendants. It's a musical by Disney, will be presented by the elementary school students at the Fine Arts Center on Saturday, April the 22nd. We have adjusted show times because somebody needs to get their hair done correctly for the prom and picture, so it's going to be a little bit earlier. So we have a show at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. and should be in time to finish up for the prom. Admission is $5 at the door, and it's directed again by Christian Pugh, who does a wonderful job with all of our productions. Since our last board meeting, our middle school junior beta club participated in the junior beta club convention at Myrtle Beach. Our team finished in the top 5 in 4 different events, and we had 6 students that qualified to compete at the National Junior Beta Club Convention this summer. Lexi Davis, Ishmael Oliver, Alicia Guy, Kiera Fry, Callie McDougall, and Sarah Puryear. They all qualified to continue this summer. And our sponsors there are Perry Bryant, Ashley Dykes, and Shannon Lindsay. On January the 25th, we had a great event that we all got to share and participate in at the middle school. They have a new book vending machine where students that are recognized for good behavior, outstanding work, improvements in the academics, behavior, and personal growth get a token, and they can use that token to go into the Panther decorated book vending machine and select the book of their choice. So we had a lot of Pokemon cards there as well, but we had some really, really good books that students were excited and made. That first day we had 20 students that were the first to receive their books, and made a lot of students jealous because they had them and they did not, and I'm sure behavior was very, very good on that day. I just want to thank Ms. Clark and Courtney Engel. Courtney helped raise some of the money to purchase this and was there as we broke in the new vending machine. Also with Courtney Engel, I want to recognize her for being chosen to participate in the State Teacher Leadership Seminar. She was recently chosen to participate through the Palmetto Teacher State Association. It's called the Star Leadership Seminar. She had to be recommended by her principal and other administrators in the district. I was happy to write her a recommendation. Since 1994, 550 South Carolina teachers have participated, and for her reward, she will attend a week-long, all-expense-paid seminar in March at Seabrook Island. I think she needs a driver, so we're excited for her. And last, we had 4 of our high school students earn a perfect score on their end-of-course scores this fall. And these include Noah Harmon, Kylie Price, Riley Robertson, and Kaylee Watson. So these 4 students earned a perfect 100 in their end-of-course score, or end-of-course exam, and they have been added to the BLHS Academic Hall of Fame for their accomplishments. And that's all I have for tonight.
All right, thank you. All right, next up, we have recognition, item 3.1, Craig Kaufman for 15 years of service to the Lexington County School District 3 Board of Trustees. Ms. Taylor.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees members. Happy Valentine's Day. It is my pleasure this evening to present Mr. Craig Kaufman and talk about his tremendous dedication here to the school district for 15 years of service. On behalf of the South Carolina School Boards Association, I do have a couple of things to present to him. First, a lapel pin that he can wear. And we also have a very nice certificate here from the School Boards Association as well. His name and his years of service will also appear in the annual convention booklet at the South Carolina School Boards Association. So thank you, Mr. Kaufman, for your dedication to our Panther students and for 15 years of service.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman, for all you do. Next up is item 4.0, public participation. This portion of the agenda encourages participation by citizens in our community. Participants may speak for 5 minutes or less on school district operations, school programs, or school district matters of concern. Participants may only address those matters that are directly school or district related. In this public forum, the board will not hear comments on specific personnel, nor will the board take any action on topics discussed. Open discussion with the board is not permitted in the public participation portion of the agenda. To be recognized for public participation, interested persons should complete a request card prior to the start of the meeting. And Jennifer, did we have any cards? Okay, thank you. All right, super. We will move on to item 5.0, our information items. First up, we have Batesburg-Leesville Primary School Project with Joel Carter and Todd Cease, and Greg Hughes and Kyle Farley from Contract Construction, and Joel and Todd from Jumper Carter Cease.
Madam Chair and members of the board, Dr. Atkinson, we're happy to be here with you tonight on this Valentine's Day. And Greg and Todd, somehow they
managed to skip out.
Yeah, that's right.
We won't hold it against them for all.
That's right. So briefly, we're here tonight to present some numbers on primary school. And the renovation, of course, I'm going to point maybe to that screen. But anyway, the top right is the addition that we're doing, which will include the media center, new media center, and then also right above it is new cafeteria and new kitchen area. The old PE area will actually become a lobby for that entry into the cafeteria. In addition to that, once we get that built, and we've got this, it's like a house of cards, because we can't do one thing until we get something else open. So we're going to kind of leapfrog through the school and renovate. Part of that renovation is once we get the new media center built, we'll be able to come back in and take the old media center and create 4 classrooms. Right now, there's space available in the old office area, which is at the very bottom there of the sheet. And that old office area, we're planning on right now that being an art room, and we've got plumbing, et cetera, in there for it. That may be a swing classroom also in the short term, and it just depends on how the students and staff move through that area. The old cafeteria will become the new PE area, and it's big enough for 2 spaces there. We've got, in addition to that, where the old kitchen is, we'll also pick up a music room and then also another space there. So that would be a total of 7 classrooms. The stage area right now, we think we can utilize that stage as the old stage as a combination of storage and also offices for the PE teachers. Now, if we need one more space, then that can also become a classroom, which gives us a total of 8 classrooms there. The more desirable, that classroom is really not as desirable as the 4 at the old media center and also the 2 at the old kitchen area and also the art room. And the reason for that is that one would not have natural light. We're able to go in above the structure and put in clear story lights because of the way the cafeteria pops up in addition to that kitchen area, and also the way the media center pops up. We're able to get natural light into those areas, which makes the classrooms a nice, desirable space there. So that's kind of an overview. If you remember, we a few years back, we added on office area, so the new office area will remain as is. We also have secure entry there that was done at that time, and so the secure entry, we're in good shape there. So, and we, in addition to that, we picked up a couple of other smaller areas for either itinerant storage, et cetera, throughout this, in a few other areas. So having said that, Kyle.
All right, thank you, Joel. All right, again, we appreciate y'all giving us a chance to speak to y'all tonight. I want to flip over to the next slide, if you don't mind. And this is what we're presenting tonight is the GMP 11, which we're hoping to move forward with, which is the $13,374,000. That includes the build out of originally we talked about when I was here previously, the The early site package was just the concrete and steel, so this is to finish up the addition. So all the work in the kitchen, the new cafeteria, the new media center, and then also the full renovation of the existing space. This includes a lot of work above and beyond what we originally talked in the bond program, whereas before we were just replacing HVAC work. Now we're actually going to be able to go through and renovate and take out all the old duct work, and I think it's actually made of duct board, so it needs to be replaced at this point. That has a lifespan, and so we're taking out all the old duct work and replacing it with new duct work. We're upgrading all the HVAC equipment. This is a new fire sprinkler system in the entire building, new fire alarm system in the entire building. So we're able to incorporate a lot more than what was originally planned for the 13,374,760. And then the number you see at the bottom includes all the testing, AEFs, and all associated work with soft cost, indirect cost. Anybody got any questions?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think I understand that building materials are coming down some. Is that?
They have come down some. They have come down some, and we are actually able to take advantage of that on the gym a good bit. When we presented that previously, concrete and steel were pretty high, and we took advantage of that on the gym build out. But on this building, we caught it when it was starting to come back down, and the steel and concrete we already captured previously. We locked that in when we presented previously, but like I said, HVAC and everything else is pretty much holding steady. We haven't have a whole lot of savings there, but we do have some other options we've put out there for the district to review to potentially cut costs in a few other places. VE items associated with flooring, finishes, and things of that nature.
The new HVAC, that includes the individual classrooms?
Yes, ma'am. So a lot of the classrooms now have a unit very similar to what you see on the wall behind you. And so we're taking the old units out and we're putting a new unit in its place. But instead of having that grill at the top that's just dumping air into the room, we're actually going to put new ductwork above the ceiling and then dump it out strategically throughout the whole space. So it's more conditioned like you would in your home versus just dumping out in one location.
Will they be quieter?
Much quieter, yes.
Will they be quieter? Those things were so loud. And do the 4 classrooms that you're going to make where the media center is, do you happen to know the size of those classrooms?
They're regular classroom size, roughly. I think. Do you remember, Kyle?
I think it was 750.
Yeah, 750 is what I was thinking they were.
750, 800 square feet, somewhere in that range.
A normal classroom is 720. So.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, next up is item 5.2, SCSBA Region 9 updates. Just wanted to touch base with you before you head to our professional development education system this weekend. Our Region 9, we are part of all of Lexington County in the SCSBA, so we are with Lexington 1, 2, 3, 4, and Lexington 5. Our region director is Anne Marie Green, and she has requested that on the general session opening Friday, that all of our Region 9 board of directors and members sit at an area at the front that she's going to have marked off. She will have a sign that says Region 9. So she said she is kind of big on us getting to know other board members, superintendents, so she would like for all of us in that Region 9 to sit together. So I told her I would pass that along to y'all. We are also going to be having a coffee talk and informal legislative breakfast as we have had in the past with these Lexington County boards as well as our legislative delegation. This is going to be Tuesday, March the 28th from 8 to 9:30 at the Brooklyn Casey High School arena. So I will have more information as that gets closer. I just wanted for you all to put that on your books so that you will know that there, and that's really a good meeting because that gives us an opportunity to meet with our delegation and discuss things that are affecting Lexington County and more specifically how that affects our district. So it's kind of like a one-on-one discussion that we can have with them. Also, don't forget we have Day at the Capitol on April the 17th. Information from the School Boards Association should be forthcoming on that. And then in the future, she is in the planning stages of a meeting with us, with county council, sometime in August to kind of get on board and put Lexington County Schools and Lexington County Council on the same page. So she's doing a great job. She is really into advocacy and everybody working together. So just wanted to throw those few things out there for y'all to keep in mind, and more details will follow. All right, thank you so much. We will now move on to our action items. Item 6.1, first reading of approval for policy IMDA, patriotic exercises, with Ms. Rye.
Good evening, Madam Chair and board members. The administration is bringing forward tonight 2 policies. These are aligned to legislation that was passed last May regarding patriotic exercises and displays in public schools. And so policy IMDA is patriotic exercises. This policy requires every school district to observe patriotic exercises throughout the year in accordance with Patriots' Day on September 11th each year in remembrance of September 11, 2001. 1 hour of class or assembly time to study the United States Constitution and Declaration of Independence on November 11th in accordance with Veterans Day, and then Patriotism Week during the week of November 11th to recognize the important contributions made by our military veterans. And this policy also provides guidelines for schools to allow representatives of youth patriotic societies to inform students about how they can be involved in membership activities. And some of what is in this policy overlaps with what is also in our social studies policy, if you remember having passed that last year. But we are in compliance already with all of these things. It just puts us in alignment with the legislation.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Do you want to go ahead and do the other?
I was going to ask if you wanted me to go ahead and do.
Okay.
So policy IMD is the sister policy or brother policy, whichever you prefer. It's flag and motto displays, and this policy requires schools to fly a United States flag and a state of South Carolina flag on the grounds of each public school every day that the school is in session, which, as you know, we are already in compliance with. And then it also requires every public school to display the official United States motto, the official South Carolina motto, and the other South Carolina motto in prominent locations throughout the school. And we are in compliance with those as well. Those have already been printed, and thanks to Mackenzie Taylor, were delivered and are posted in our schools.
All right, we have heard from the administration on these 2 policies. Do we have any questions, any motions?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we approve policy IMDA, patriotic exercises, and IMDB, flag motto displays.
All right, we have a motion from Ms. Carey for first reading approval of policy IMDA, patriotic exercises, and policy IMDB, flag and motto displays. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Derrick. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are now up to item 7.0.
Madam Chair, I make a motion, we move into executive session for discussion of personnel matters.
We have a motion from Mr. Kaufman to go into executive session for a discussion of personnel matters. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second by Ms. Baltnick. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. We are now in executive session.